Hey there, this is Trucker Wayne on Facebook, Wayne Craig on LinkedIn. How's everybody doing today? Trying to get out of the wind here, doing a walk, and it's pretty windy here in Idaho. But hey, how am I going to be remembered with all these, especially the last couple days? You know, you do the people think are truth bombs, bombastic posts, stuff that, you know, I don't think are all that controversial because I actually put the time in and do the research. We live in a world where people are they're addicted to likes. They need likes, they want likes. And basically, if they're on social media, everything is geared towards a like. Look no further than TikTok. There's a certain way, there's a formula. You start hitting it big on TikTok for certain things, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over to keep the likes coming. And if you've looked at my page, I actually do quite a few different things because I'm not going to be bored I've got an audience, but I'm not going to be bored or put into a hole of the same thing over and over again on social media. If you're on social media, I suggest moving forward. I've talked about this. It is changing. Facebook, especially since early January, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they're all cracking down on certain forms of, they're trying to really limit the hate speech and other disinformation stuff. But, my advice after 8 years is I'm not looking for a like. I've told you guys 6 years ago, 2 years ago and 2.5 years ago, I made a huge change just to start really telling the truth about the trucking industry. And you don't have to like it. You can gloss over it. You can even act like it doesn't exist. You can shake your head at me and say, yeah, whatever, it's Wayne again. And I'll just come back a few months later and say, see, I was right. Even though you didn't want to listen to me. Over the years, I've talked about it and put it out on LinkedIn and Facebook about some of the predictions that I've made early on in COVID. And once again, I was spot on. I talk about when something I've said didn't really land all that well. But for the most part, I do enough research and I can look into the future enough to say, this is what I think is going to happen. A lot of them is just, I think it's going to happen, and it does. But this brings me once again to the disinformation campaign against autonomous cars and trucks. If I were all you listening to this right now, I'd really start to really wonder if you are totally anti-autonomous. Is it your feelings on the issue? Because you're certainly not being driven by facts. You're just not. It's a hard thing for people to hear these days, that you're just not listening to facts. You're listening to your emotions. You're listening to people in your own groups. By the way, Facebook turned totally the groups. The first thing that pops up on my other pages are groups. I don't belong to groups. I don't want to. By the way, I don't want to belong to groups. If you've watched me long enough on LinkedIn, if you've watched me long enough on Facebook, I do my own thing because I feel like I'm getting a message out there that groups would never do. I don't need a group behind me. I once had someone say in a pretty big meeting, and he was pretty excited about it, and said, I've never really accomplished anything big by myself. It's been a team thing, wherever it's always anything that he's done is by a team. And I'm saying the exact opposite to that. Yes, I'm not an island and I need a team, but I don't rely on the group to tell me how to think or what to do. And I'm talking about any group, any sides of the aisle. You could talk political, you could talk business. I'm just giving you guys some real thoughts, some real critical thinking about the trucking industry. I'm hammering on parking, the lack of parking. I'm hammering on the 100%, the turnover in the industry, 70, 80, 90, 100% for a decade. I'm hammering on these things because it has made a difference. I'm the one that keeps hammering away on it because it does matter. I have a history of turning around 3 different major properties in hospitality with turnover. So I have that history behind me too, to say, look at what's going on here. Part of the problem, a huge part of the problem is you're dealing with new truckers every single year, and they're easily influenced by people that are putting disinformation campaigns out there, wishful thinking. You could just take the broker trucker brouhaha. And I wasn't the lone wolf, but you all remember how bombastic I was getting on the trucker, saying it was a losing proposition. Not only was it a losing proposition, you got your ass whooped. nothing came about good on that thing. And I was the one saying it during the lockdown, and when everything was going, it was just a dead issue. And I'm proud of what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. Nobody's going to shut me up. And there are times when I just go back. I've got history of videos to say, look, this is what I said. This is the real thing going on. Our industry, I'm going to leave it here. Our industry can't heal. Our industry can't really push America forward until we start to deal with the issues that I've been talking about. You can't. It's wishful thinking. It's just, you can't expect truckers night after night not to get tired of this industry when they can't find a place, secure lit place to park and then get a ticket because all they did was want to park for the night. You can't expect truck drivers to get into this industry. You can open up 12 schools. You can be the best recruiters in the world. What the drivers are going to find out real quick is there's 100% turnover. The people that may have helped you a year ago, they're not there anymore because they quit. So as I move forward with my social media pages, it's not bombastic. I have very rarely do I have, you know what they do? They don't basically attack. A few people have attacked me, but not for being untruthful on here. They unfriend me, they unlike my page because they don't like what I'm peddling, the truth. So everyone, stay safe and healthy out there. There's Trucker Wayne on Facebook, Wayne Craig on LinkedIn. I'll be back, man. This has been a lot of fun 2 weeks. Going to hit it hard on social media. Peace.